You probably know Capcom as the studio behind massive franchises like Resident Evil, Devil May Cry or Street Fighter. But back in the day, they used to have a much bigger portfolio of franchises and were a lot more experimental with their games. And so in the early 2000s, they also tried their hands at making various racing games, one of which you probably already know as Automodelista. But what you probably didn't know is that this wasn't the only racing game Capcom made, as Capcom made another racing game exclusively for the original Xbox called Group S Challenge, also known as Circus Drive in Japan. Group S Challenge might have been Capcom's attempt at taking a jab at Gran Turismo, as it is also a more grounded racing game with, at least at the time, more realistic graphics, licensed cars, and real locations. Having never heard of the game myself, I had to try this one out. So, is Group S Challenge a forgotten gem or a racing game that really was better left in the past? Let's find out. I have like zero expectations for this game. I don't even know what's in it or how the campaign's gonna be. Welcome to Circuit Mode. Circuit Mode is the... You can win money in cars by competing in line. Picking up point... Okay, this definitely has some butchered translation from Japanese. I can tell you that much already. Aim for a perfect record in Group S races or reach the top of championship races by using other races effectively. Select the manufacturer of the car you want to purchase. Okay, let's see what we got in the car list here. We got Toyota, Nissan, Honda, basically all of the major Japanese car brands. Dodge. I like the menu design, by the way. I think it's pretty cool. We have Volkswagen. Opel is in this. Okay, that's crazy. Fiat? What the? Okay, wait. This might actually be peak. Okay, what do we have in Fiat? Okay, we got a Punto. Oh, that's actually a really interesting generation of Punto. I don't think I've ever seen that in a racing game before, in the Turbo. Interesting. I mean, what should we start with? Punto is a baller starter car, honestly. We could get an MRS. That's probably the best bang for your buck that you're gonna get here, honestly. Yeah, I think the rest is off limits. I think it's Punto time, guys. Okay, let's just hop into a race. What could go wrong? Yeah, we can only participate in Group C, because that's what the car is. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to already take place in, like, a championship with this. So we're gonna race in Shibuya. Surfers Paradise, interesting. I wonder how close to real life these tracks are. Because obviously, like, the big appeal with Project Gotham Racing is that they actually just take, like, real roads from, like, random locations across the globe and just turn them into racetracks. So just to be, for you guys to be aware, since we are playing on an emulator, there's still some slowdown in the beginning. Not much I can do about that. Once we get ahead, the slowdown gets progressively better over time until it actually runs at full speed. It's just that all of the cars are on the screen, the game does slow down a little bit, so the game does not actually feel this slow. But so far graphically this does look quite good. So I looked it up. This game came out in 2003, which, like, for a 2003 racing game looks pretty decent. It's not like the best looking game I've ever seen. In fact, I'd maybe argue that Gran Turismo 3 might have looked better even on the PlayStation 2. But it looks alright. It does its job. Aged pretty okay, I would say. But so far so good, honestly. Handling wise, it doesn't feel that bad. Once again, like, I think it feels fairly similar to Grid. Like, if the cars in Grid were just basically standard commuter vehicles, that's just kind of how you'd expect it to feel like handling wise. Cameras. Oh, that's cool. Wait, that's actually super cool. You get like a live TV view of the current race. I actually kind of love that, if I'm being honest. And we get 20k. Man, that looks like an icon from a mobile game. Does anyone feel that too? It just kind of looks like like it's taken straight from like a microtransaction menu from some random mobile game. Okay, Monaco. I'm not sure why this track is highlighted in red instead of green. I guess we're gonna see. There's also a shorter layout of Monaco. Like, it's not the full one, as you can see. Pretty weird. Maybe a little bit wider than it is in real life, but I guess for a game that makes sense. Oh, also we're going this way. Interesting. What an interesting layout. Yeah, I've never seen this for sure. This layout was used for Formula E for a while. Really? The funny thing is Formula E obviously was a thing way after this game came out, so that should wrap up the Group C championship. I'm not sure if it's gonna allow us to move on to Group B right after this. But we need a Group B car for that. What about Line is where you get bonus DP by picking up points along the course within a prescribed time limit. Whoa, what the hell? Look at all that glitter on the track. Okay, so we need to collect 391 pieces of glitter in 1 minute and 28 seconds. Gotcha. I see why it's called line now, because I need to follow the line. There's only one line, so I think this should only be called line and not line. Because line implies there's 2 lines, but there's only 1 line. Oh, I see how this works. No, we did get a B rank. I just didn't get the full amount of DP for this. And the rank is a multiplier, basically. Okay, I see. So you get multipliers for the rank, so the time you do this in. And you also get a multiplier if you do this perfectly. Okay. So let's check out the duo. Duo is where you compete in a challenge race to win a car customized with aero parts. Okay. Oh, that is sick. Wait, holy shit. Oh my god. Oh. Wait, that's actually kind of cool. You need to basically collect all the cars in this game, and then you can compete in duels with these races. And 3 of them give you like a special tune. Wait, that's actually kind of cool. That actually encourages you to buy all the cars in the game. I actually really like that. Okay, so this seems like a pretty cheap entry point for Group B. It might be a little bit more grinding necessary. And we just started. That's not a good. That's not a good sign. If we just started the game and we already need to grind. I mean, alternatively, what we could do is just buy other Group C cars and then do the duel and then win the faster car here, right? Like we already completed a race for this one here, the Civic Type R, which I do believe must be Group B. So alternatively, we can just buy the MRS and then the Celica and then grab this car. That might honestly be cheaper. And we get a faster car as a result, because it's obviously tuned. So I would actually do that. I think that is a better strat, and I think it's actually a cool way to progress through the game. Getting more cars from like the group you're already in, like the lower classes. So let's get the MRS. I think we can already afford it by now. Yeah, easily. Maybe we can even use this MRS for other duels. But yeah, so far so good. It seems pretty cool. That's a very unique approach to progression that I haven't really seen like this before. We don't get any money from these races, which does suck a little bit. And let's check the upgrading menu. I don't want to buy anything because I want to save for the Celica. You can slap different wheels on this one. I think these are branded ones. It doesn't say, but... Okay, upgrades don't actually seem to be that expensive. It is still pretty grindy though, I gotta be honest. Like the grind is settling in pretty much right away. Which is a little rough, not gonna lie. Wait, what is this? This is Monaco again, right? Oh, that is cursed, dude. Like, we're driving it in reverse. And it's also a weird layout. But I do think for earning money, this is probably the best way. Because you really only need to do 1 lap. And you could potentially earn more money if you're fast, so... Okay, maybe this was pretty much perfect. Maybe we could get perfect and A rank. If so, that is going to give us a crap ton of money. Okay, we got it. So this was perfect and A rank. This was literally as good as it gets. So I wonder how much money I'm gonna get from this. This should be a ton. Not that much, because it was a considerably shorter track. So we only got like half the points, basically. But with the multiplayer, this should still be really good. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god. Okay, here's the thing. How much you need to grind in this game really mainly has to do how good you are at this. Like, if you're good at this and you can hit a perfect, like an A rank with a perfect, then you can really cut down the grinding time by a lot. Because that was basically worth 2 of these line events. Alright, smoke this full. I hope that the car I get from this is B class. I don't even know. There's no way you can know what class the car is that you obtain from the duel. So I just went in here hoping that the Civic is a B class car. We're gonna find out. If it's not, I'm gonna be baffled, dude. And then we need to select it from the grid here. It's Group C! Are you kidding me? I did all of that for another Group C car? Bro, how is this not a Group C, a Group B car? Look at the stats, dude. And let me guess, you can't sell them either. Well, more line racing it is, guys. Strap in. Is this finally enough to buy a B-class car? This Integra is on only 180k, so we only need to one more line event. Okay, the FTO is only slightly more expensive. We could take the FTO instead of the Integra. How much for the Selena 7? 200! Oh my god. Like, there's cars in this game. Like, the cheapest car in this game is 40,000. And the most expensive is 200 million. That is, like, I think that's the most insane cost gap I've ever seen in a racing game. That is crazy work. Yeah, surely the money scales, but man. Like, Siege is really cheap, but it's also just Group C. How is this Group C? Look how fast this is. The groups make no sense in this game. Okay, we even have 200k. We can buy a ton of cars now, actually. We could get a 180 SX as well if we want to. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? Because I want to try a rear-wheel drive car. Does this game only have 3 locations, by the way? Or 3 tracks? Like, I only see Shibuya, Surfers Paradise, and Monaco. That's really too few, honestly. Like, people complained about Gran Turismo 3 only having, like, what, 8 locations? This has 3. This is, like, the least amount of tracks I think I have ever seen in a racing game. Okay, I gotta be honest. Rear-wheel drive does not feel that different from the front-wheel drivers. Because the rear was sliding out as well already on the front-wheel driver, so... I gotta keep saying, this feels so similar to Grid. It's been a while since I played Grid 1, to be fair. But very much feels like a slightly heavier, slightly floatier Grid. Like the closest comparison I can draw. Yeah, I think so far my first impression is just really 200k for 1 win. That's as much as the car is worth that I bought. Okay, the grind might finally come to an end. The coins that look like microtransactions you buy in a mobile game. I said the exact same thing earlier. The first time I saw that. But I think the content is kind of the Achilles heel of this game. Because I'm like, honestly, like, driving feels pretty good. I gotta say. It's not amazing. It's not like Gran Turismo level, but it's, you know, it's clearly trying to be a bit more arcade. So this could have been really fun with just more content. Just more locations and maybe also just less grinding. You know what's weird? There's no sound effects for collisions. I think they just forgore. Forgore or ran out of time to add collision sound effects. It's really bizarre. Okay, I gotta say, now that I'm getting a grip of the handling, it's actually quite fun. Like, you can really throw these cars into the corner quite hard and at pretty high speeds. But let's see. What would be the cheapest Group A car we can afford? Honda S2000. Group B. Fuck. I mean, let's see how much money we get from these now. Might even be worth upgrading this car so that we can get A ranks more consistently. That does pay off very quickly. We get a 5x group bonus. Okay, that shit's gonna stack hard. If we get an A rank and a perfect bonus with this, it's gonna rain money. Okay, so let's see how it drives now. It's a bit upgraded. It's got full stage 2 upgrades, except for brakes. Brakes I skipped because they feel good enough. Okay, it feels much better in the corners, dude. Even so much that I overgripped. Crazy. The thing is, I'm not sure if this is worth it right now. So this was an A rank. And we only got 50k. Even if I get the perfect, that would only be 150k. So a little bit less than a regular race. I think, honestly, redoing races is better, yeah. If you do this perfectly, then maybe. At that point, we might as well just do the same championship again. Which kind of blows. Unless I can also race... Wait. Is it gonna let me? It's gonna let me participate in the Group A race with a Group B car. I didn't know that was possible. Okay, wait. This car is upgraded. If this car is fast enough, we might entirely skip over Class A. And honestly speaking, Group A does not seem to be that much faster. I guess that's what the upgrades are for. So you can compete in higher groups despite having a lower group car. I'm glad I tried this, honestly. I actually just kind of wanted to look at the tracks. Okay, we got a good lead. If I can take this corner well. Oh, beautiful. Okay, GG. That's 100% a win. Let's see how much money we get. I expect at least 1 million. If I get anything less than 1 million, I'm gonna be upset. That's probably gonna be more. 5 million! Oh my god. Jesus, bro. Okay, yeah, we are absolutely skipping over Class A. Holy. Now we can already afford all of the Class A cars that we want. And with a Class A car, if we pick the best one and max it out, we could maybe even challenge Class S and beat that championship, and with that actually beat the game without actually buying a Group S car. And we would have skipped so much grinding to the point where, like, we beat the game in, like, what, like, a little bit more than 2 hours. That would be insane. I'm actually just gonna retire. We have 6 mil. Crazy money. Skyline? Ooh, Skyline is insanely fast, but we can't afford it. We'd have to do the first race again, which we can. We can already win this. If I do that again, we can afford this. And I can max it out, probably. Thing has crazy stats. Okay, I assume upgrades are probably gonna be really expensive. Okay, how much for turbo? Oh. That's okay. So this should be way faster than everything else we had so far. The thing is, the stats indicate this car is fast. But horsepower, it doesn't actually have that much, I think. I mean, it feels pretty damn fast. It's a big upgrade over the 180SX we had earlier. It's not even maxed. Alright. I'm gonna give it one more test run now that it's maxed out. I wanna see if the handling has improved. I'll defend this game. I found out about this game. I didn't even know this game existed. I found out about this game through a random YouTube video where someone was thrift shopping in Tokyo. And they went to a used retro game store. And they picked up this game. I was like, huh. I have never seen this before. What the hell is this? And then I checked out gameplay on YouTube and I was like, oh, this actually looks kind of good. So I gave it a try. Oh yeah, the handling is crazy now. Holy shit. Oh yeah, honestly, with this car fully maxed out, I think we can easily take on S-class opponents. But yeah, this game was actually published by Capcom, which is interesting. It's only one of 2 racing games that Capcom ever published. The other one you may know, which is Automodelista. Apparently, there's also a Mega Man racing game, if you want to count that. It's kind of weird. Like, there's only 4 cups in the entire game, like 4 championships in the entire game. If you compare that to even the first Gran Turismo, that is, well, almost nothing, really. Whoa, holy shit. Whoa! What was that? Okay. That was something really wacky with the physics just now. So we came to a standstill, but I guess the tires were still spinning at high speeds, which rapidly accelerated us. That looked so strange. Alright, there we go. Now we're able to take part in Group S races. So the idea now is not to save up for a Group S car, because that is going to take ages of grinding. Actually, we can afford the Mustang. That is a Group S car. And we could probably afford to max it out too. That might be even better. I think I want to try my luck with the Mustang. Yeah, Mustang might be the best bet for sure. I think I would focus on the handling first. We should be able to afford better handling. And I think that does make a big difference. Because the opponents are really, really slow in corners. So if you can capitalize on that, that is definitely a good thing. I mean, honestly, the opponents don't seem that stacked even. The Viper is going to be a little hard to beat, but I mean, it's the fastest car at the very least here. I gotta also say, like, the brakes are really, really strong in this game to the point where I'm not sure if upgrading the brakes is even worth it. No, okay, we'll have to settle for a second, but I think that's going to be fine. Unless, holy crap. Viper's sneaking up on me, man. God damn. Dude, holy. Okay, yeah, the AI does not give a fuck in this game. They do not care about your presence whatsoever. Actually, can we wall ride this? I'm gonna try it. Absolutely fucking not. That was quite possibly the worst wall ride attempt I've ever seen in my life. Dude. Man, sometimes, like, I don't really understand the physics. Like, sometimes you bounce off of them with relatively small speed penalty. And sometimes it just hard stops you. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Turn around, turn around. And he's immediately back. What? Are you kidding me? Dude, I spun you around. You were pointed the other way. How are you already back? I call cheating. I call cheating on that. That is not real. Game looks quite fun. It is alright. Like, I gotta be honest, like, the actual racing is not bad. The main problem is just really the lack of content. Like, you have only 4 championships and 3 tracks in this game. That is, like, the lowest amount of content I have ever seen in a racing game. That isn't a demo. Like, what's here is good. It's just not enough, you know. Like, it's the kind of game where I think a sequel would have really done a lot. Like, a Group S Challenge 2, I think, could have gone pretty hard. If they just take what they have here, the base, they just kind of refine it a bit, polish it, and then just add more stuff. I think then this actually could have been a great racing game. But as is, it's kind of hard to recommend. Like, I'm glad I checked this out for sure. And I definitely had fun with it, but it's not something I see myself ever coming back to, you know. Okay, final race. If we win this, I think we might have beaten the game. I think we might beat the game here. And considering this is Monaco reverse, which I think we already pretty much won last time to farm some money, I would say there's a good chance we can beat the game here. Okay, that should be fine enough though. Like, you only need to get a top 3 finish here. You could not reach the prescribed position. What was the to be ranked number 1 for all entry? I guess, wait, does it mean I had to win the last race, or does it mean I have to win all of the races? That's okay, we earned a lot of money from that. With that, we could buy a faster Group S car, like for example a Viper here. But we do need to upgrade it. I'm not sure what I should do first. We could do tires and suspension. I think those two should do a lot for the handling, which I think is going to be the biggest problem with this car. We haven't done a line event with an S-class car, so we could try that. I do think these don't really give you enough money anymore to be worth doing. Okay, so we get a group bonus of 16x. Yeah, this is not worth anymore. The line races are 100% not worth doing anymore. That I can absolutely guarantee you. Viper doesn't sound like a Viper. Yeah, the engine sounds in general are not great here, but that's true for a lot of racing games from this era. I wouldn't really hold it against it. I would say the last event here, by the way, is extremely difficult. Like, we should have a decent car here. Like, the Viper is far from the worst. But as soon as you get a Celine in here or a CTR2, you are in for a world of pain. Like, that is so unbelievably difficult here. And that is extremely frustrating, I will say. That is unbelievably frustrating. If you have a 5-race tournament, each race being extremely difficult, and if you get anything less than first, you basically have to start over. That is straight garbage, man. It's just... You have to get a Celine yourself, and then you have to upgrade it with the most expensive parts that the game has. And only then do you actually have a reasonable chance to win these. Alright. You could not reach the prescribed position. Okay, so you have to get first everywhere. I don't want to do this again. I gotta be honest, I kind of don't want to do this again. So we could try to at least unlock some of these special cars here. It's worth doing this at the very end, I think. Because at the end you earn a lot of money, so you can just buy all of the cheap cars really easily. I would say this is probably the most fun part of the game here. I would recommend you guys, if you play this yourself, to just do this here. And ignore the regular championships. Maybe at least unlock the final one so you can get 20 mil per win. Let's try to get the Abflug Supra, because it's kind of cool. But I would say in 2003, you definitely had much better options already available. Like, even for its time, I don't think this was very recommendable. You know, like, you already had the first Project Gotham Racing, which, you know, that was a launch title for the Xbox. On the OG Xbox, I think you only needed to wait 2 more years for Forza. Pizza 2 came out the same year, so you only needed to wait a couple of days maybe, or maybe it already came out. It's just not, it doesn't really, I don't know, fulfill any, like, purpose that other games don't already do a lot better, you know. I think the main thing are really these, like, tuner cars here. That's probably actually where the most amount of fun in the game is, I would say. And the fact that you can manually toggle the lights is kind of cool. But, yeah. Alright, and with that we should have the Abflug Supra. It was also our opponent the entire time. Yeah. You even get a cool graphic for this. That's actually kind of nice. The problem is, like, these cars, there's no actual gameplay reason to get them. They're not really better than anything you can just buy from the dealership, as far as I can tell. Plus, they are basically the same car class. Like, you can't really obtain a higher car class that way. I think I'll leave it here, though. We can watch the ending of the game on YouTube. Shouts to Racing Game Archive for actually beating this game. Something I'm personally not strong enough to do. And then see, he is also driving the CTR. He is also driving the CTR. It's either this car or the Celine. Although I think this car is actually even faster. I mean, look at the difference. It's probably also fully upgraded. How much of a speed difference there is between all of these cars. That's also like another thing that really kind of sucks. Like, if you group all the cars into like only 4 categories, you will end up with like massive gaps in performance between the slowest car in the group and the fastest car in the group. And I think that is really, really obvious here in the final car class. So this is what happens when you beat the game. Nothing. Just a short image of a trophy, which probably is the same frame we saw the previous times. And that's it. That's the credits. The dirt race is added to the arcade mode. Wait, what is that? Wait, hold on. That's actually interesting. Are you telling me there's more than 3 locations in this? Okay, this is a bit of a scam. I would have been really disappointed with this. This is a dirt race. Yes, that is cool. Different surface. But it's just Shibuya. They threw on a dirt path on the asphalt, on the existing asphalt of Shibuya. Like, I would have gotten excited for like one more track that you unlock. Even if it's just a tiny one. Just one small track. But no, it's just Shibuya again. A different texture for the ground and some particle effects behind the car. The handling doesn't even look that different. So I don't think the handling changed even. It's entirely visual, and it's a dumb visual. Because they just threw like sand or dirt over like official public roads. Which that must be a nightmare to clean up. I mean, as a completion reward, I guess it's fine. At least there's a completion reward, like it's better than nothing. But I would feel kind of cheated. I think with that, we shall leave it here. Thanks for hanging out regardless though, guys. Appreciate it. Until next time, take care, take it easy. And as always, peace. See you guys.